Hey guys, you're watching XDA Developers TV. This is the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. It's a mouthful, and appropriately so. There's a lot of tech going on inside this phone and a bit of complication as well. As with standard Samsung flagships, you're going to get a different chipset depending on which region you're in. I've got the Exynos 990 version as I'm not based in the US, and that might impact the review. But for the hands-on, it's going to be pretty even Stevens, talking about the design, the screen, specs generally, and also that new S Pen functionality. Enjoy. What really hits you about the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra on first impression is that 9.7-inch display and its teeny tiny bezels. You've just got this strip at the bottom and it feels really minimal, but then on the sides, because of that curve, you hardly even notice any bezel at all. Up at the top, you've got that Infinity O hole punch camera and it is tiny. It's only really that noticeable right now based on the fact that it's got this screen protector. But ultimately, the take-home message is this display is beautiful. 91.7% screen to bezel body ratio. It's dynamic AMOLED as well, wide quad HD with a 496 pixel per inch pixel density. Gorilla Glass 7 on the front and back too. HDR10 plus support and 120 Hz refresh rate. It's in adaptive at the moment, flipping between 60 and 120 Hz. Annoyingly, no override to just keep it in place, but we're sure someone on the internet, maybe even us, will be able to make a hack that enables it soon enough, or maybe Samsung will just allow us to force it on in a future update. Anyway, enough about that. Back to this phone, and I mentioned the back is Gorilla Glass 7. What's also striking about the back is just how well it repels fingerprints. It's a matte finish. I've got this bronze version available in Mystic Bronze, Mystic Black and Mystic White. You've also got this mega prominent camera surround. I have to say, like, visually, it looks like a really striking piece. I like the contrast between the high gloss and the matte. Obviously, it's going to be uncomfortable if this thing is just like pressing into your thigh, especially if the phone gets particularly hot. So it's not necessarily ergonomically the best thing in the world, but from a design point of view, Samsung's taken two really big camera modules, that 108 megapixel module, and of course that 5x periscope zoom module, and they have turned it into something that at the very least looks good. Down at the base, you've got the USB-C port and an S Pen slot, as well as a loudspeaker. Up at the top is a SIM card slot. Takes one SIM card and a micro SD card, or two SIM cards. Inside is One UI 2.5. One UI 2.5 adds with it a few elements that we haven't seen before, but the most notable is that you can add navigations, gesture-based navigations that we've seen before on third-party launchers. You've got the Bixby type screen to the left-hand side, which you can customize, and you've got an applications tray by default, though you can turn this off. Pull down notifications tray, customizable set of menu options. You have the power button on the left side because you've got Bixby button when you long press the power button. Haven't got rid of that one just yet. Inside, you can get a Snapdragon 865 Plus if you're in the US, like I mentioned earlier, an Exynos 990. The device also starts at 1 to 8 gigabytes of storage, goes all the way through to 512 gigabytes. You can get 512 gigabytes expandable storage via micro SD card, and there's 12 gigabytes of RAM. It's also UFS 3.1 as well, so nice and speedy. Right, there are a few new elements added to the camera as well. We can show you, for starters, the laser autofocus being freaking awesome, laserish. It's a new focus sensor, so I'm flipping between the grill on the Huawei Sound X and my 7D lens. It does it really nice and quickly, and obviously anyone who does photography stuff knows that black is not the easiest thing to focus across. What's more, you can also do some sweet stuff with video thanks to a new Pro Video mode. It includes things like manual focus, but also focus peaking. You can have multiple sound sources as well, so I can do a really nice, for example, pan focus from the Canon camera right through to the Sound X and back to the Canon camera, and it's a focus peaking that's going to help me figure out I'm getting all of that looking sweet. So I can watch that back nice and quickly, play video, and bam. It also picks up me speaking. It's stereo speakers. Speaking of the audio, you can also get multiple audio inputs via this Pro mode as well. With a 4500 milliamp battery, we're optimistic that the phone will last a day, but we can't say for sure. It really will depend on what you do with that screen. Also 25 watt fast charging, sweet. Fast wireless charging as well, and there's 9 watt reverse wireless charging too. But now let's talk about the thing that you've all been waiting for, that S Pen. New S Pen features, and this time round you've got improved latency, which means when I draw there's less of time difference between when the pen touches the screen to the stroke appearing on screen. There's also some new gestures and smart software enhancements within S Note. So let's start with the gestures, and if I was to do a right arrow, I can see some of the last used applications that have been on the phone. And this one, live drawing for example, I can just do a scribble and it will turn it into a drawing or a GIF that I can then send on. But if I don't like that, I can hit the back icon by doing a left arrow and I can discard my drawing. I can also take a screen grab by doing a scribble in the air and then share that out. And I can also do the standard swipe up to increase my volume, swipe down to decrease my volume, and just press the button on the S Pen in order to play a track, and double press it to skip to the next track, press it again to stop it, press it again to stop it. It does usually work. So as you can see, the gestures are relatively usable. As soon as I fire up the S Pen though, I've got this menu on the left hand side, and what that lets me do is jump into creating a note, for example. Now on the S Note application I can do a scribble, well that wasn't very easy, very legible. So you can see I can erase that quite easily by pressing the pen and drawing over. So let's try that again, L-E-F-T. Really messy, totally off angle, but the phone will still be able to straighten my writing and make it a bit more legible, and then it will be able to turn it into text. So convert that. It's actually done it, despite you saw just how messy it was. So there are some new tools that note takers will appreciate, and obviously you've still got standard support for all your favorite drawing applications like Autodesk, Sketchbook, Adobe Sketch, etc. Hopefully you enjoyed this hands-on with the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. If you did, you know what to do. Subscribe, click that thumbs up button, all of that good stuff, and stay tuned. We'll be posting the full review in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching XDA Developers.